Welcome in, everybody. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute since I've been able to sit down with Father Courtney Creer, the long-serving pastor here at St. Joseph's Church in downtown Las Vegas. And welcome, Father, to your own church and kitchen.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming again and stopping by to see the various things that we're doing. Obviously, you can tell today was kind of a busy day, all the things happening.
Mondays are always busy.
Yes.
Around here, Father. Well, there's really no off days for you when you come to look at it. One of the things that I've always marveled at is your consistency and your dedication here. And today, Father, I want to focus for the people on my particular channel, because it's coming up on 3 years that I've been associated and working, and it's been a great experience for me to come down here and be involved in St. Joseph's, because, Father, people don't think about people actually living in Las Vegas. They come to Las Vegas and it's like, oh yeah, people actually live in the Las Vegas, and people suffer here too. Could you just quickly sketch out why you began this program many years ago, over 20 years ago?
That's fine. It doesn't look at going back and reminiscing, so to say, of the past, because obviously the past has to become before the future. But the realization is I'm here in downtown Las Vegas, definitely in downtown Las Vegas, surrounded by the casinos, and as we again look at that, we have here that of, you can say, the high end, but also the low end. We can look at that aspect of those who have and those who have not, and it's not so much as, so to say, looking at the social status or the socioeconomic situation of people. It's more or less than looking at that of being here and realizing that there's around us a lot of people who are in desperate need. And I am coming here to Las Vegas to offer Mass. I'm here at the church, and I walk outside, and there's literally at that time there was people actually, you can say, starving. They were skeletons just left there. Nobody cared about them for the most part, and it was a matter of, I'm here, I can't see them because I see my brothers and sisters, and the aspect is that we have to again make sure that they're taken care of. And so we've been starting with that, making sure that those who are around here are being fed, taken care of. Then we have the economic aspects that come in when it comes to that of the 9/11, and then we have that again of also that of the economic situation which happened in 2008, and the need just seems to have been increasing. And so obviously our aspect of taking care of everyone has corresponded to that need that is there, such that we just made it a permanent, about 20 years plus, maybe even longer than that, of making sure that there's a stability in regards to making sure everyone has the opportunity to receive food and be taken care of, and not just when they come to the door, when I see them on the streets, but rather again that aspect that they know that there's a place here they can come to and receive that assistance.
But people still come to the door during the
day.
They
still come to the door.
So
yes.
Nobody gets turned away.
It's hard to again have that, but yes, you're right. We can't turn away those.
And I think you're very modest, Father, with the things you've done, and you look at this surroundings around here, and everything is done by volunteers that donate the food. Nothing comes from the government here. It's all donated by private individuals, and it's cooked and it's brought and it's served here. And it's pretty amazing, Father, when you think of how small the church is in the scheme of things, but now feeding well over 500,000 meals in that time. When you really add it up, it's quite an accomplishment. And I know you don't dwell on accomplishments, but I do, and I think that's a very amazing thing that you do. But I wanted to talk today, Father, because some people assume, and of course we've already had 2 annual fundraisers, and those fundraisers that have been conducted through YouTube have been of great benefit, particularly for establishing a capital reserve fund to be able to buy equipment, because when you're serving that many meals out of here, equipment's always, I don't know, I mean, microwaves and other things, there's always equipment needs, refrigeration and things like that. But apart from that, Father, there's also the ongoing needs, and now we're coming to a time of year on the edge of summer here. We have the dog days coming that are really hot, and it's really difficult to serve during this particular time. But it's a time when the need doesn't go down at all here in Las Vegas.
No, it doesn't. Definitely, it's pretty consistent when it comes to that need, and that's there sometimes a little bit more because that idea is again, if even the families are suffering and they have to again feed their children, whatever else, we obviously have to look at that of supplementing that is also then, of course, that means also less food going to those also in need that they're able to give out. And so definitely there's a consistent need that is there that increases sometimes in what we can see right now in regards to the families trying to make sure that ends meet, because one of the aspects of life is that health is very necessary. And that's one of the things that we also mention when it comes to the food that we give. We again realize that when it comes to what we want to give to the people, we want it to, again, to be healthy, because as such, again, we know that if they're healthy, then it's going to be that of them both being able to do what they need to do to take care of themselves, as also not putting stress on the medical system that we have, and all the way around an attitude that's going to be there where they.
Well, you also
again,
told
can
me
have
people would often have to call EMT services sometimes.
Yes.
Maybe a couple times a day where people were in distress out there. Now you don't really have the need down here to call for emergency services here. It might be other places, but you have taken a bit of a load off government resources in that regard. But we really think about Las Vegas is so unique among cities in the nation, because when you have an entertainment capital, people just think in terms of fly in, fly out. And I stress again, it is a very service-based economy. It's not a high wage, high-tech economy with high wages. So it does become stressful for people. And it's what I really like is the channel's kind of adopted St. Joe's down here and kind of taken it under our power here to do what we can to step
and
up.
We're grateful
really,
for that. Yeah, we're grateful for that.
Really try to make a difference, because if you ask Father Creer to go out and do things, there aren't enough hours in a day, Father, for you to do the things that need to be done and just to take care of you really are a one-man band down here, and there are literally no days off. So I'm very proud, guys. I'm very proud of what's accomplished down here, and obviously you can tell because I talk about it on here year after year with Father Creer. And it's one thing to donate to a charity. It's another thing to see where that actually goes without a cut of that, a 30%, 35% being cleaved off the top of that. That's what I love to see. That everything that's donated is absolutely used here, and it's amazing.
And also it's from the heart, and you have to realize, and I think that's what draws a lot of our volunteers here, is the fact that they realize that we're not looking at something that's going to benefit anyone personally. Rather, it's going to benefit the community. It's not even benefiting the church in that aspect, insofar as the church, again, the members are giving, and you can imagine what it takes to feed over 100 persons every day. It's not a matter of when we're capable, when we're able, when we want to. It's a matter that it's expected. It's done every day. We have over 100 persons coming into line to again receive that, of knowing that they're going to have a meal that day. And of course, that means that those who need to pay their rent are able to pay their rent. Don't have to think about whether or not, if they don't pay their rent, because they have to spend food, because, as we said, health is very necessary. And therefore, like we said, the healthy food that's served thanks to you, because definitely we want to make sure that is there, that again it's processed in a proper way to make sure that we're not going to be seeing anyone being sick or anything, because that would obviously be contrary to why we would be wanting to again make sure that they have healthy
faith
food.
Institution and things like that.
Father,
you're modest, because sometimes the numbers bulge up to almost 200 people that come in to be served, and as you said, the expectation is there to take care of those people. So it always gets a little bit probably nerve-wracking sometimes to look at the food that's here and then look at the lines out there, but the Lord always provides, and I expect it will continue to do so with the help of your support. I guess I think we've kind of adopted a lot of this, what's going on down here, and it is direct charitable help for people that we don't have to worry about where does it go. You can look at some of the videos and see that the people that come down and are helped, and I love that direct need aspect of it. So, Father, we revised the giving list, particularly on Amazon. You will see that link below the video here, and we've kind of really prioritized now to the important things, because it was before kind of a shotgun approach, but there's some staples, rice, pastas, chilies, and things like that. It's important to make sure people know where the main course is that's being served. But you do serve a balance. There are vegetables that are there, and fruits and things.
Yes. Fresh fruits, whatever. Again, milk. We have milk being served almost every day. Also, coffee, of course. And you might say that's a luxury, but to a certain extent, these who are there actually appreciate it, because where else are they going to be able to get something? And we ourselves realize that we wake up and what do we expect? A cup of coffee. And so to have them realize that they can get up and also have a cup of coffee is something that is, you can say, insignificant, but yet still a great deal for them.
It's Father Creer. It's a civilizing influence on our mornings around here, and sometimes they're not always easy here with service and things like that. But I would like you, if number one, I appreciate everything that's been done. If you can help out, this is really, it's kind of one of the most difficult times of the year of gathering food and things. So if you can help us and knock off a few things on the link below, I know Father Creer and I would be very appreciative, as well as the people that are served here on a daily, 5 days a week. Some people say, "Oh, you probably have to be a Catholic." No, nobody's qualified that comes here. People come here. It's one of the
things that we have is it's all you have to do is be hungry, and if you again can show that you're hungry, then definitely you're going to get something.
Be hungry, be civilized, and be kind, and you will be taken care of here without any pre-qualifications whatsoever. So. Father, any closing words on the food program? Of course, we'll be having a third annual fundraiser in November for capital things, but any final thoughts on the food?
Just again, thank you again, because as was mentioned, we look at the heart, and we hope that you're moved to do this, because definitely that is going to be what you do, going to affect someone, and definitely they're going to be grateful for that also, because when it comes to their difficulties and the situations they're in, sometimes we can again say that it's their fault, but for many times it's not, and it's societal insofar as so to say, how do you help those who seem to not receive the help and don't have the understanding again to know how to again see life as it should be, and not having the support systems that are there to see them through life. And so we definitely encourage, and we're there to again greet them with a kind word and to mix with them, and recognize that as we are there, that they again have something that they're going to go away lighthearted and happy, and look forward to that again of the next opportunity, because definitely it places hope in them. Because if we again are looking forward to something, and if this unfortunately but is true sometimes, is the only thing they can look forward to is the next meal, that where it's going to be where everyone is there together talking and enjoying the time, then definitely that's something that's going to,
it makes people, it raises their feeling of worth a little bit too, Father, to exchange with other people. And I think also the Lord never pre-qualified anybody when he did things. He just tried to help when he can, and I think so should we. So on behalf of Father, thank you for watching today, and thank you, Father, for all you've done silently in the background of a very busy entertainment Sin City here. And they're not joking, right, Father? Sin City down here, but there's actually people that live, work, and suffer down here too, and definitely have need that we don't think about in a lot of other cities Yeah, thank goodness there's a place like St. Joe's that they can come down to. So thank you, Father. Any final words today?
No,
Okay.
and I think also I'm glad you see this on the video, and I'm happy again that if you might notice that we're not there on the news as to the situation where it seems to be crumbling down here, but rather again that this is a place where again the respect as it is built up, there is that respect somewhat for the area down here because they know that this is some place they can go and this is their place, and we want them to again have that, and you make it possible. Without your assistance, of course, it would be rather more difficult, and we know we wouldn't be able to reach out, and of course as such again there wouldn't be that of the enjoyment that they receive knowing that there's people who care for them, because definitely they know it's also your care that they again are receiving.
I think that's the thing. All right, Father, thank you very much for your time today, and thank all of you once again. The link is down below, and please avail yourself of that. And if you feel in a position to be helpful, I know we'd both appreciative, and you know exactly what goes on down here. So thank you very much, everybody.
And thank you again for your support.